and welcome, ladies and gents, back to the channel. I'm your host, JayNotion, and today we're going to be checking out a little bit of a twinkling in my eye. So, first of all, massive shout out to Lost Cinematics. They are a fantastic channel. I believe it's a small group of people, but primarily one person that's putting together all this stuff, all these ideas, and all these fan-made short films, basically. And I recently checked out the Lady Maria one, which is absolutely amazing. Highly recommend you go and watch that, especially if you're a fan of Bloodborne and Lady Maria like myself. However, today we are checking out The Tale of Queen Marika. So this is going to be a 4K fan-made short video, nearly 12 solid minutes of fun, and these videos tend to be getting longer and longer and longer. So over time, who knows, we could be gifted with a fully fledged Elden Ring Bloodborne short film, fan-made film, if an hour, maybe an hour and a half. We can hope. I mean, we keep giving these guys backing, we keep supporting what they do. They may have the budget eventually to do it. But anyway, we're going to have a little bit of a watch reaction. This is something brand new to me. It's only come out from the 5th of March, as you can see there. Haven't watched it. As I said, I have seen this one here, The Tale of Lady Maria. I've got the video and a reaction on the channel if you want to go and check that one out. And also there's a link to the original video from Lost Cinematics in that video. If you want to just go ahead and you're not asked about the reaction, you want to just watch it yourself. As you can see here, this is a fictional fan-made project for Queen Marika's story from Elden Ring, only made possible with the use of AI and various other tools. It's a transformative narrative animated storytelling video with visual representation based off of fictional characters and places from the Elden Ring game. It's a work of fiction and blah, 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 blah. Copyright. It looks amazing. And for any of you that are into Elden Ring and you're into the lore of Marika, she goes through one hell of a journey. And if you want to check out some of the other lore videos, Vati Vidya is the man for Elden Ring content, in my opinion, in terms of lore. And just general Elden Ring content, or Souls content for that matter. But if you want to check out more on Marika, her backstory is absolutely crazy. And hopefully we're going to see some of that in this video. And they do it justice, which I'm sure they will, because the Lady Maria one was excellent. And it just whetted my appetite enough to make me want more. So without further ado, let's watch, let's enjoy, and see what we're up against. This is going to be good. I've got a feeling.
Death, a cycle that repeats indefinitely. Bear witness to the suffering, for it's merely a breath. And for those who choose to oppose, you shall wield the threads of hypocrisy, for you cannot destroy and not be a destroyer, a giver and not a taker. For this was the fate of all, but one, a chosen one.
Her story is super sad. At least it starts off really sad. Then she kind of turns into a bit of a bitch, but justified, not justified, I'll leave it up to you to decide. Her backstory is super interesting though. Really, really cool. This looks incredible already.
In prosperity dwelt the Shaman woman of the hinterlands. They lived their days in ritual, connecting to spirits from out and beyond. Unfortunately, their practices would come to an end as the superior beings of the land, the Hornset, were making way. Desperate and in search for divinity, the Hornset would subjugate the Shaman women to ritual. A ritual that would meld higher beings.
Look at that.
Order. Tormenting, despairing, infliction of great pain. Every sin would be utilized to achieve absolute sainthood for one.
Damn. We got hit with an ad. I had to click past it. You skipped through. You didn't miss anything. Hope you don't mind the switch of the camera as well, guys. I'm trying something new. Slightly different angle, slightly different setup, but I just find the lighting this way is a little bit more friendlier. I don't look as ill, basically. Also, it's a little bit of a change. I like to mix it up now and then. Yeah, the whole jar thing,
with a newly found power,
messed up.
by the greater will.
If you play the DLC,
Sun Queen
you'll know.
would give birth to a child cursed with a burrowing serpent. This child would lead a great battle,
Yes.
ridding the Hornset of their abusive power, and
Mesmer.
leading the Sun Queen a step closer in becoming Marika, the Eternal.
Look at that. Fell tarnished. DLC was wicked. Really good.
No wishes, no confessions, an echo-less land of empty homes. What could have been done? Only she would know.
That's the braid. You find that as well in the DLC. You find it by the tree. Marika's braid. That's so cool. Just a minor little detail, but amazing that they included that. Oh my god, the black flame,
To
yes!
become truly eternal, the
Malekith's
rune of
armor.
death would need to be plucked
That looks sick.
from its inhabitor, the Golemite Queen.
There she is. Unleashes fury. Absolute goddamn.
Were the rune
Goddamn.
now skinned away from the god-slaying queen, a new beginning would emerge at the footsteps of an entrance melded by corpses of the horned-like beings, for it was of their way.
That looks so
Marika
real.
was to be now known as the eternal vessel for the Elden Ring, starting the new, found age of the great Golden Order.
Yeah. They're sticking to the lore, I love it. And I think that's what they said. They took most of the inspiration for this and the timeline based on the descriptions of the items in the game, because there is still plots, if you like, or holes left to interpretation, which is a FromSoft way. Miyazaki does it with all of his games. Look at that. That's so good. It just makes me want to go in and play some more Elden Ring.
Great wars would take place, cleansing the land of any of its imposing forces.
Wow.
Like the giants who prayed to a fell god,
Fire Giant.
draconians, of whom were abandoned by their
damn.
god-slaying queen. All events that could be led back to the hands of Marika.
That Malekith
Eternal.
armor is sick.
Marika would
She's
select
fan as hell.
a great warrior of the Badlands to become of a service.
Godfrey.
A service that would give birth to a perfect being. Godwyn, the
The
Golden.
Golden. Damn, he ripped. Nothing but broccoli on that man's diet. Maybe a bit of chicken.
Radahn, the devout champion of the Erdtree, was raging a war at the
Sick.
steps of Raya Lucaria, an academy of sorcery ruled by
He looks
Queen
really good.
Marika of the
Renala.
Carian royal family.
Face looks a bit odd.
This war did not last long, for Radahn and Renala would conspire a marriage, ending the war with a truce.
Are we going to
They
see
would go on to
Rani?
bear 3 children, one that would eventually master the stars, another
Radahn?
that would rebel with blasphemous intentions.
Rykard?
Finally, an Empyrean who would
Rani.
ultimately usher a new age.
Come on, let's have a look. Show us a glimpse of Rani.
Despite Radagon's accomplishments with Queen Renala, he would depart from the lands of Leonia and send foot back to Lendale, as he was
Look at
being
that.
called upon by a higher order to become a Leal Hound, barrier to a vessel now.
They
known
had the
by
best
all
kids.
as Queen Marika, the Eternal.
The 3 children,
Their
Rykard,
union would
Radahn,
give
and
birth to the ones
Rani.
that would be held responsible to carry on.
Epic boss
the
fights as
Golden
well. If you think
Order's
about those
lineage.
boss fights, apart from Ranni, you don't fight Ranni,
Unfortunately,
but
it seemed they had given birth to irreverent beings of the divine.
so
This
good.
would serve as yet another mark of betrayal.
Twins.
What thought to be perfection soon turned to affliction in the mind. Despite the tragic defects of her children, her
Mikola
loyalty would
and
remain.
Melania.
Until one night, where everything that had been would
She was
come
putting out
to a
'cause
collapse.
They had Fell Omen kids as well.
Malekith, the keeper to the rune of death, would fall short in safeguarding the rune as fragments of it were plunged from under his vigilance.
Dude, that looks so good.
All actions orchestrated by a witch to grant destined death to a god. This would enact an event that would soon be known as the Night of the Black Knives.
Where he gets shanked. Godfrey gets shanked. All because of Ranni, that is, as well. Proper
With
Game of
sheer
Thrones
anger
type
and
stuff.
resent, Marika would yield blowing
Look at
strikes
that.
to what she had kept so dearly imbued within. For she was willing to plunge all that was sacrificed
Smashed
to
it to
absolute
pieces.
chaos. Her fate decided. Misery, pain, a realization she could not put an end to any forms of death, for her sins could not be forgiven. Radahn, her other half, still
Yeah,
yearned to be. A being
Literally
of
her other half.
perfection, spreading unity across the lands.
When I
between.
found out that they were one and the
Only
same being,
seemed
I was like,
possible
what?
through the divine nature of the Golden Order, phasing in and out, attempting to halt Marika's destructive actions.
They're one and the
Her
same
anger and
person.
disbelief was of too great of a force,
Marika's hammer.
leading the Elden Ring to be shattered. In an attempt to show his loyalty to the greater will, Radahn would try to repair the Elden Ring. Unfortunately, it seems he did not possess the ability to do so. With the heresy that was committed, both would be imprisoned, preventing any more actions to take place by Marika's hands.
That's so good.
This imprisonment would be everlasting, and the lands between would be plunged into chaos.
It makes me want a movie or a TV series the more I see this. If done correctly, like this, with passionate people, it would be the greatest TV show of all time. Without a shadow of a doubt. There he is! There's Radahn. The Beast. Mesmer. Epic fight that was. My word. You haven't seen Ranni yet. In her doll form, at least. Yeesh, what the hell's that? That looks so good. Heck, I'd just take a TV show based on AI. Look how good this looks. Just get people to do the voices, that's it. Voice actors are in. It looks incredible. Royal Knight Loretta. Armor 6, one of my favourite armors in the game. Are we going to see it? There's Melania's hand. Prosthetic arm. There she is! Waifu! Yeah, she fit. She fine.
Perhaps
She fine as hell.
chaos was what was needed to truly birth a being of divine force, not forged of sin, but of struggle. Perhaps this was the only way, and the plan, all along.
So good. That's so good. That is so good. Oh, I want more. I want more. There's so many things to talk about, but those 11 minutes went by in the blink of an eye, did they not? I think this is Placidusax there, because there's one of 3 heads. We saw 2, but that's the only dragon that we know of, at least in the Elden Ring lore, that had multiple heads. Placidusax. Godwyn the Golden's in there. Radahn looks absolutely epic. I love how he's got his golden sword in there as well. We got a glimpse of, I'm assuming this is Melania and Mikola. Because then we get the statue, the iconic statue of the twins. And they talked about affliction, which as we know is what happened to Melania with the Scarlet Rot. Which is why Mikola made gold prosthetics, because it was the only alloyed metal that could repel the spread of the rot. Can you tell I'm into Elden Ring? I can deep dive into this lore. I absolutely love it. It's everything I love. Medieval, fantasy, RPG. It's got everything in there. Like mysteriousness, magic, Game of Thrones type intrigue, drama. Like the whole story of Radahn, Ranni, Rykard. It's tragic, but it's epic at the same time. And then you got the Omen children who were literally, because they were born afflicted with horns and they looked grotesque, they were sent to live underneath the capital city of Lanedale because the parents were so ashamed of them and how they looked. It is absolutely bonkers. And then you've got the horn scent in the beginning, so this is talking about how they came and captured the village, slayed all the shamans. Marika was one of the shamans, but she escaped. Went on a massive hell-bent revenge type thing. Gave birth to Mesmer, who, as we know from the DLC, led her armies into freeing them from the horn scent, basically. So although Mesmer is depicted as the bad guy, depending on which point of view you look at it, he wasn't a bad guy. He was just following the orders of his mum. His mum kind of went a bit twisted. She went a bit crazy. Kind of like how Daenerys did in Game of Thrones. Started off with a passion. Started off with, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to free people. I'm going to do this. Ultimately ends up becoming just as bad as her predecessor. And that's kind of what happened to Marika. And she twisted like her children in the process as well because of it. She kind of got lost in that revenge. She got lost in the power trip of the Golden Order. And then people then started to rebel and things like that because it was going down a really bad route. That's kind of the gist of what happened with the Elden Ring and why it got shattered into a million pieces. But the story is epic. I could go on about this forever, guys, but we're just here today to check out this video, and my god, it was amazing. I hope we get more of these. I hope this is just the tip of the iceberg because I absolutely loved it. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. I hope one day, and as long as it's done justice, I don't want it done like Rings of Power for God's sake, but hopefully we get a TV show, at least, of Elden Ring. There's so much lore there that they could just go to town with it. They could talk about the horn scent, they can talk about the shattering of the Elden Ring, they could talk about the knives, the black knives, they could just go into the death rune. There's stuff there with like the Ronin and the reeds and things like. There's just so much stuff that you could go into. The horn scent, the omen killers. You can go into the omen afflicted children. You could just have a series around the Golden Order. You could have a series around Mikola and Melania, the afflicted twins. It's just absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts with how this could go. But we're here to just talk about the here and now. I'm just going wild with the concept just based on the hope that this video has given me. But absolutely loved it. It's amazing. Like I said earlier, I would even take an AI fueled Elden Ring TV series. I would be up for it as long as they had the right voice actors in. It was done with passion like this is. It was input by fans and people that are passionate about the lore, passionate about getting it right and paying homage to Miyazaki's work and George R.R. Martin's work as well, collaboratively. If they give them the licensing, I know there's a lot of legal hoops to jump through, which is why this fan-made stuff is done separately to the official canon stuff. But my god, could you imagine this on our screens? This would be the biggest TV show of all time, and we can just hope and pray that it comes. But if it doesn't and we just get more of this stuff, I would be happy with that too, because these videos are getting longer, they're getting more intense, they're getting more juicy-fied. There's just so much stuff in there that is fueling my passion for this game, and hopefully this is just the tip of the iceberg. But I absolutely loved it, as you can tell. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, guys. What would you love to see in the future from Lost Cinematics? I would personally love to see a video on the children of Radahn and Marika. I would love to see a video on Ranni, Rykard and Radahn. I would love to see the afflicted twins, Melania and Mikola. even just a story on Mikola, because his story's twisted as well. Tried to follow in the path of his mother, then became a little bit twisted in his way, and all that sort of thing. But again, had the right intentions in the beginning. Kind of followed the path of his dad and of the mother as well. So there's just tons. There's the Omen children. There's just an absolute ton. I would even watch a video on Loretta, the Royal Knight, alone. Do you know what I mean? Patches. Even Patches. I'd watch a video on Patches.
Hey, don't hold it against me, eh? Take your time starving to death. Then I'll sell every last trinket off your corpse.
There's just more of this stuff coming, hopefully, and this is just the tip of it. So go and support Lost Cinematics, guys. Go and subscribe to their channel. Go and follow them. Go and comment on their videos. Share this with your friends, your family, your loved ones, because the more we support this, the more we're going to get. And I just cannot wait to see what else they can pull out of the bag. But thank you so much for watching me today. I hope you enjoyed it too. Until the next video or stream, I will see you again very soon. Peace!